I am the second youngest child of four. Grew up in Queens when it was okay to still go outside and play manhunt. Times have changed a lot since then, but in my little lad days, I was just always running amok, playing baseball. I was very healthy, or I didn't eat healthy, but I was a very active child. Skateboarded. I tried every sport, actually, at least once. Just wanted to find what was for me. It was very to myself. I didn't have many friends growing up, honestly.
Why?
I just felt like I was weird. I always felt like I stood out more than everybody else. But not in a good way. More in a, like, keep quiet kind of way. I still wear all black. So yeah, I just never really felt like I fit in with anyone. And I was still young, naive, didn't really know where my group was. So growing up, I had a handful of friends. Fortunately, don't have them anymore, or at least I don't really keep in contact with them as much as I do or used to. Yeah, I grew up where everything was different. Nick at Night was still a thing. Cartoon Network and Boomerang were like the thing. Back when Cat Dog was still on TV. So yeah, times have changed a lot.
You miss those days?
Yeah, I do miss those days. That generational shift hit real different. More so because, like, everybody was nicer back then. For some reason. I don't know if it's overpopulation, people are in tight spaces, everybody's starting to just throw elbows now, but everybody was just nicer back then. Or at least that's the way I felt. As a child, I don't know if maybe my perception of reality was different because I was a child, but yeah, I did feel like back then things were like so much better. And now with the economy being so shit, everything's so expensive, being an adult trying to grow up in this like time is really tough. I mean, I'm only 25, but holy heck is it tough. I'm still roommating because I can't afford my own place. And I say I'm happy, but like, I could be happier. Money isn't everything, but it'll definitely help. So, we're taking it day by day. Things are a lot slower now, or at least so it feels. I can feel myself getting older. Sucks. That daughter that I have, she reminds me of how old I'm getting. She's like, Daddy, you're so old. And I'm like, yo, I had one gray hair, relax. But yeah, it's just a whole different feeling from the way it used to be. Summers weren't as humid. I didn't feel so pissed off to go outside. Things changed too much. Too much.
You feel like you grew up fast? You were thrust into adulthood?
I do feel like I may have grown up not in the best way. Definitely could have had more support from the adults. But
Which adults?
all of them. I didn't really have much guidance in my life. I feel like my mom, as she was growing up, didn't really have much either. So as she grew up, she was still trying to figure out how to be an adult. And now me, 25-year-old man, still trying to figure out how to be an adult. I do have my childish tendencies.
You have any
But
resentment?
no, of course not. I understand where she was coming from. She had her first kid at 16. I mean, that's tough. I thought 20 was young. 16 is young. And I could never. She really gave herself a handful, and she did it. Most of the time she was single, and I'm like proud of her. She made it real far. She did what she could for her kids, and that's something I would never take away from my mom. No matter how much we have these little arguments, I love her to death because like she really did everything she could for her 4 kids. And even to this day, anytime I ask her, like, Mom, I'm really tight on cash right now. Can I just borrow $50? She doesn't even hesitate. I just see a text from Chase. You got $50 in your account now. So man, kudos to her for doing it. And I'm inspired by her, actually. Again, she did it mostly alone. And as an adult now, I see her struggle. And it hurts me because it's like, I want to be able to help, but I'm in no position either to help. So it's really tough. But she's stronger than I could ever be. I don't know where I'd be without her, because we all know, or well, we don't know, I didn't have a dad around. My dad was locked up, I think when I was like 3 months old. The first time I saw my dad, I was 18 years old, stocking the cooler at Walgreens, and he was on a road trip down to Florida from Connecticut, from where he was held, and just popped up one day. And I've never seen this man in my life. I see this 5'8" Dominican guy walk up to me, look at me and say, "Junior," and then try and hug me. So I'm like taken aback for a second. I'm just like, "Dude, who are you?" And he's just like, "It's me, it's your dad." At the age of 18, I saw my dad for the first time, and I could not hold back tears. It was a very emotional day for me, especially because I was at work. I was like, "Dude, this is weird, man." But yeah, I didn't
have a relationship with him now?
Be honest with you, not really. Not as much as I would like. I do admit it is my fault. I don't really reach out to people. Like I said, when I was younger, I was just very to myself, quiet kid. I still am almost always to myself and a quiet kid. But I don't have the relationship that I strive to have with my family in general. I definitely feel like I'm lacking, whereas I could just be reaching out.
Is that something you want to work on?
It's something that I have been working on. Last May, my younger sister graduated from high school. My mom's immediate family, we all got together for the first time since I graduated high school, or for the first time since my great-great-grandmother had passed away. We had finally met up again, which I think my great-great-grandmother passed away in 2017, somewhere around there. But we had all met up in Florida for my younger sister's graduation. And it was at that moment that I knew, like, I need more of my family around, because that was the time of my life. I have a friend who's like, every time I talk about the trip, he's like, "Yo, you never shut up about Florida." And I'm like, "Bro, it was the happiest moment of my life." And like, he compares it. He's like, "Even happier than the birth of your daughter." And I'm like, "Yo, honestly, they're right there. They're right there." Because, I mean, again, I haven't had my family there with me in a really long time. So
the family was what made you happy.
Yeah, not to sound like Dominic Toretto, but family is everything, man. Like, you can do anything with family. That's strength in numbers, and family is the people that are going to be there for you no matter what. Or at least I would hope so. I know I would be there for my family no matter what. So yeah, family definitely means a lot.
Did you see your dad when you went to Florida?
I don't remember. No, I didn't. The last time I went to Florida, I skipped out on seeing him because our schedules didn't really align. I do call him every now and again, text him just to make sure he's okay, he's alive, still breathing, you know. And I should do that a lot more often. I definitely do plan on seeing him more, because I'll be honest with you, the amount of times I've seen him, like a handful of times, which is not enough. I'm 25 years old. I need to grow up and see my dad more. I've got daddy issues.
So, you know the name of this show is Where You Stumble.
Yeah.
Do you know when that moment was for you?
When I pushed away everyone, including my family, ironically enough. I'm like just now coming to realize this, that when I had my daughter, when I needed my family the most, I kind of just pushed everybody away because I felt like I had made it there on my own. And I also took a kin to my mom, and I was just like, well, she did it by herself. I'm pretty sure I can do it too. And I mean, honestly, I moved out of her place and moved within like a 15-minute walk from her, and I still wouldn't even see her as often as she would like. So I definitely did push everybody away. My relationship with most of the family had just dwindled down to a high and by situation. So it sucked, because I want to say that's probably when I needed my family the most. When I was trying to figure out how to be a dad, and when I was also trying to figure out how to be an adult at the same time. It was really tough. And to just separate myself from everybody because I was trying to be in the zone. It didn't work out well for me, obviously. It messed with my relationship. It messed with my career. It messed with pretty much everything in my life because I didn't have that outlet. I didn't have anybody to talk to, or at least I felt like I didn't. And I was very still naive at that point, just trying to do everything on my own, and it didn't work out for me. And then back to when COVID hit, it was just really tough to do anything at that time, really tough to afford things. And I'm not saying that I would only look for my family when I need something, but I definitely didn't need them then. So not having them there was like really tough for me. And I do feel like that is where I was at my lowest low, because I just, again, not in contact with the rest of my family. So that was pretty tough. It is by going down into the abyss that we recover the treasure of life. Where you stumble, there lies the treasure. So yeah, that quote hits different when you really like pull it apart. Just go for it. Get it. People are going to help you find your way there. You don't need to do it alone. There's always someone to help. I will say, as of late, I've been really biting my tongue on my falls. I've been struggling a lot. That's why I've been picking up odd jobs wherever I can, doing photography gigs whenever I can, trying to make as much money as I can because it's tough, man. Trying to be an adult, have fun, raise a kid, trying to repair my car while like working an entry-level job. It's tough, but I don't let it stop me. Again, I do bite my tongue a lot, but it's because I feel like I don't need it. I probably could ask for help. I probably would get it too, but I just feel like I'm good enough right now where I can hold my own, or at least keep my head above the water. I know what I want to do, and I just recently started reaching for it.
What's that?
It's tough. Just trying to learn, honestly, trying to stop being so ignorant, stop trying to like say, oh, I know this, I know that. I know nothing. I have to be more open to learning. And I think that's where my biggest fault is that I'm so stubborn. I do need to reach out to my family more, ask for advice, words of wisdom, I guess, or just anything really, because I feel like I don't talk enough about my issues, and that's something that like I shouldn't do. It's not good to keep everything bottled up. So probably after this, I'm gonna go like call a bunch of people and be like, "Hey, just thinking about you." But yeah.
Do you have any mentors?
Not really. I grab inspiration from anywhere, really. People younger than me, people older than me. If I feel like...
Do you have anyone that you can call a mentor?
A mentor specifically? I would say for photography, my mentor would be a very, very close friend of mine, James. He's always looking out for me. He told me, hey, you should get this camera. It works really well. I've had that camera for 3 years now. It's worked really well. He's always, teaching me whenever he can. And we have our own thing together. So it's pretty cool to just have that immediate connection with somebody and want to build with them. And they actually want to do the same because, it's hard to find that group of people. Everybody's too worried about getting their bills paid and stuff. But man, I'm just trying to focus on the smaller things in life because there's a lot more to it, man. Life is so frail. Like, it could be gone in a second if you do like the wrong thing. It was actually after I crashed my car that I realized that like crashed right into a wall, had a minor concussion for like a good 5 days. And at that point, I had realized like, oh, if I would have just turned a little bit extra, it would have been a head-on into the wall. It could have been done right there. I want to say ever since then, I've just been a lot more like careful and a lot more grateful of everything that happens. I drive with 2 hands on the wheel now. I used to be that New York kid, one hand just whipping it, but I'm scared now. I don't even go past the speed limit anymore, man. I have my days where I'm just like, let's take things slow. On rainy days, I take local roads. That's how paranoid I get sometimes.
So there's some stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff.
But you have a good outlook that things and hope that things will get better.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know, man. Like, why focus on the negative? It's just, if you strictly focus on the negative, then you're only going to look at the negative whenever it pops up. You're going to completely disregard the positive. So I look at the positive. Now, whenever my shoe goes on without me struggling, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. We're having a good day. The only thing that sucks about that is that like once something bad happens, my mood shifts so fast. It's bad some days, but for the most part, I keep myself under control. I definitely do have my days. Things could be better. Exactly.
Everyone has bad days.
Yeah.
You have to work on.
Yeah. You can't be afraid to acknowledge it either. Like you got to know, oh, today's going to be a shitty day. And you got to put it in your brain to not take that out on anybody, because that can alter a friendship. It can make somebody think, oh, he's being a dick today. I'm just not going to talk to him for a couple days.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for everything. Everything that's given to me, I am grateful for. The opportunity to breathe, man. People have it so much worse than me. I was thinking about this the other day, like the odds of being normal nowadays is so slim.
What does normal mean to you?
Normal just means, normal in the sense of like no medical issues from birth kind of thing. Like even asthma. Oh my God, I'm thankful I don't have asthma. Like, again, breathing. The only thing I will say is that I'm grateful when one of my nostrils clears up and I can breathe fresh air. I'm just grateful for everything. The opportunity to be alive, all the way down from like the cellular level of that 1 in however many million from a sperm cell. Like I was the one that came out. What is there not to be grateful for?
That you won that race.
Exactly. So I won that race, and now I'm just here making the best out of it. And yeah, I'm not going to be the richest guy. I'm not going to be the smartest guy. But I'll tell you this much, I'll be the happiest one. Because what is there to not be happy about, dude? Like, you've made it. Every day is a gift. Take it as such. So yeah.
What projects are you working on that you would like people to know about?
I will say a consistent project that I do work on is the Sour Takes podcast. We're on like any platform or most platforms that you can think of. Our most popular ones being YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram and TikTok. Those are where we gather most of our traffic from. Been really consistent with that. The whole idea behind it was sour takes. We just find the most controversial topic to talk about, which we haven't even gotten that far yet. We've just been keeping it as a, how was your week? What'd you do last week? And then we'll talk about current stuff. But we are building an audience so that way we can get to the point where we can talk about really controversial stuff and get down to the nitty gritty.
Are you doing it for controversy's sake or because you want to solve a problem?
Believe it or not, I'm doing it to learn. I like learning other people's perspective on things. So I like learning from other people. Obviously, I can't learn from myself unless I make a mistake, but learning other people's perspective on things is one of the reasons that I chose to do it.
Is it an escape for you?
Yeah, I would say so. Instead of going to therapy, I do a podcast.
So it's your therapy?
Yeah, it's nice to talk. And especially when I'm like the star of the show, why would I not take that opportunity to have the biggest voice or the second biggest voice? I am a co-host. But yeah, I like it's I also do like talking. I'm a storyteller at heart, so I will tell you every story in the world if you ask.
Why do you think you like talking?
Oh, because I'm annoying. I think it's because, like, I want people to know that, like, you can go through X, Y, and Z and still make it here today. Like, I've been through so much crap, but I'm still here and I'm alive and I'm doing what I can. And again, that stems back to, like, I won that race. I'm going to make the best out of it. So, yeah, I feel like I tell stories just out of habit because, maybe it's a narcissism thing. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, it could be like I'm just full of myself.
I don't know. I think it's something deeper than that.
It could be. Maybe I need real therapy.
Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate your story.
Yeah.
And maybe we can follow this up with another one.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
No problem.